Yo, D Chambers, what's the word, man? You tapped in with P Films, man. What's goody?
Come on, man. We here live and direct. Welcome to the WMMG office. You know what I mean? You came here, you tapped in. You know what I mean? You tapped into what we're doing. Now we tapping the world into what's real out here, man.
That's
Thank
good.
you for stopping by and keeping it on.
Nah, man, it's a pleasure to have you here. It's a pleasure to have, for you to have me here doing this with you, you heard?
I mean, thanks for coming out, because first off, like I honestly say, I took a open jump of leap of good faith when you hit me up in DM, wanted to come out to the China Mac video shoot and do some of the behind the scenes, and you came out, you was on time, you was sturdy with that. And I do business with people who show me signs of people that want to do business and want to be a part of the culture and help put it out there. And you came to the studio session, so it led to you, setting this up. So it makes sense to me. Why not help a brother?
Well, I appreciate that. So I know, it's the first time, we got you on a P Films platform, so we're going to start from the beginning, you heard?
Oh, that's good.
Word. Now, I know you from Coney Island, you know what I'm saying? And I always heard about Coney Island, all these different experiences, but what was it like, your personal experience growing up out there?
See, growing up, I have two different perspectives of things now, because you would have asked me that probably just 4 years ago. I probably had a different answer for you. But I just think everybody has choices in life, and then while you're going through life, you have choices to make. You have some people who chose to go to the NBA, like what everybody is known for in Coney Island. And then you also know for people that act like pirates, warriors out there. And some people don't see no other way to obtain a dollar or maintain a life structure. So in Coney Island, it's either or. It's a thin line. A lot of people have options, but when you're thinking about Coney Island, you gotta think not too much has been offered to us outside of sports and entertainment. And just recently, I think within the last 3-4 years, with all the violence that they spotlighted on Coney Island, because they bought the rides and Trump put money into the neighborhood, so it's all type of condos and construction. So now the people who didn't have nothing had a choice to work construction and earn an honest check, or not do construction and continue doing what you're doing and get caught up if you don't have a vision and a dream, whether you decide to do music or you decide to do anything else. I just think, like anywhere in this earth, it's the decision you make. We all make mistakes. I made tons of mistakes. I have best friends I probably don't speak to this day, just for whatever reason, because we don't have the same vision now, but we don't wish death on each other. But it's a choice. Yeah. And sometimes people don't exercise those choices.
Got you. I mean, with all that being said, I feel like oftentimes, like, people focus on those neighborhoods, they focus on like the negativity and all that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because that's what it's known for. Like every part of New York City is known for something. Yeah. So like we're no different from Far Rockaway. They're like, damn, y'all remind me of Coney Island niggas. Like Staten Island, they resonate with us. Anybody that's like left out, like Zone A, because that's how the weather report puts it. We're Zone A. Like we're the first to get disaster.
Yes.
We go through the most destruction. But the sad part about it during Zone A, I was just telling my boys at the barbershop on 16th Street, 10 and Dosh, it seemed like more people was more together when it was a disaster.
I think that happens a lot, you know what I mean?
Yeah, when you see a fucking couch floating in the street, and you're out of a house, you're out of a car, and now everybody's relying on each other. Exactly. Everybody's more humble. But now that things are back to normal, everybody's back to their aggressive ways of getting it for themselves. So I just think you gotta have a mindset to boss up and do it in a tasteful form, to where you can help others. Exactly. Because sometimes helping others could get you murdered. Like it's just you gotta keep that mind frame, because if you open the door to what you really do out here, a lot of people don't know, how much gifts God gave you, but they don't also tell you all your flaws. They only acknowledge what they see.
Got you. Well, that's a fact. What are some things you feel like the positive things you learned from growing up out there?
I mean, I learn stuff every day, honestly. One thing I say I learned is out of sight is out of mind, and that goes with anything. Your absence has to be appreciated. Because when you're there, people take you for granted. So if you're not there, it's like, what are you doing? And then the steps you working on, you doing it subconsciously. People will see that appreciate what you're doing. Now, the other people who mind is not there is not gonna give a fuck about you because you're nowhere to be found. Yeah. So when you stay in the mix but stay out the mix, like you gotta be well aware of what's going on. People appreciate you for what you do. Like if you have an ill job, people know you for having an ill job. If you have an ill crib car, that's what you know. If you running around here bumming and banging and you having tons of excuses and a bunch of opportunities around you, that's what they'll know you for. You know what I mean? So I try to get respected for taking those approaches to get things and try to show people that you can do this right here from off the curb. You know what I'm saying? And take it to the next level.
So with all the things going on around you, all the things you've seen, like what made you gravitate more towards the music?
Music, I learned over the years, it's like a trampoline to jump high to 10 other things. You know what I mean? No matter how high you go, boom, music gonna put you right back up. Boom, like, you know what I'm saying? It's a trampoline. And it's also a great marketing tool. I learned that because a lot of people rely on music and they just have the music, which is good. But you gotta have, like, music taught me, like, your phrases and brandings could help you sell shirts, hats, talk to different people, create venues and lock in with a DJ that appreciates your music and it grows. So me learning that is what made me say, yo, you know what, I appreciate music more and it can help you get $1. So why not? Literally $1 off iTunes. So like when you know stuff like that and you hang around people who think like you, even me trying with all of this independent, I'm not signed out the mud, somebody will understand that with the bag and be like, okay, he's about his business, and they will add to what you're already doing. Yeah. So that's how I constantly live. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I created this so I could do interviews, blogs, photography. I could concentrate more on content because this world's going virtual. So I'm already in that department. This is not my first office either. This is my second. Yeah. You know what I mean? So like doing the clothes, doing the branding. I know music, if they hear my song on the radio, it gives people more of a reach to reach out to me for something. Absolutely. Whether it's a verse, a shirt, they may not even like the music, but they like the hat. You know what I mean? Or it might be the other way around. You know what I mean? And plus, not just me, I'm able to use my music to put other homies. He might be talented, young dudes. He might put him in that spotlight and he take off. Yeah. So that, it's just music is just a gateway for a lot of things.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Now, I also was looking, through your catalog and all that, and I noticed that you was around the battle rap scene, you know what I'm saying? That caught me by surprise.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm definitely No Smack, Beasley, Chico for some years. Shout out to Liaison. He used to rap for Coney Island.
Gotcha.
We was all my ex-fam, and like I said, music created different gateways. He took the manager approach in life. But when he was with Professional Hits with Destro, they used to, do business with Smack. When Smack was coming to Coney Island, but I already had an open pending charge. I was going into jail already to do a little short bit, and by the time, I was going, Lia built the relationship with Smack, so by the time I came home, it was just a phone call.
Got you.
You know what I mean? And then, I supported it. Then we met Math along the way, created MYB, and here we are today, you know what I'm saying? I just knew my lane. I don't battle rap, but I was part of the freestyles and stuff. Yeah. But it sharpened my sword. Like when you hang with those battle rappers are great thinkers.
Absolutely.
But over the years, like I said, I love that culture to the casket drop. I just wanted to I like to entertain. My battle on the stage is really in front of a live crowd. And seeing how DMX did it dolly and moved the whole world, like, certain people that perform gives me that energy. So I like I create music you can perform, you can ride to out in the whip. That's what I do. I talk that get money talk, and sometimes even in that culture, they just want to hear bars on how you could annihilate another opponent or how you the best rapper in the world. And that is great, because even in the mainstream world, you gotta prove that too, but it's just a little more aggressive in the battle community. And shout out to Don DeMarco. I used to take my shots at battle rappers, and he used to play my songs. So eventually, from that to figuring out how to get my music in the strip clubs, and I had to even fine tune up the words and what keeps the ladies and the crowd moving. So that took a year or two figuring out, because it's not easy. Because when people think you around battle rap, they automatically take points away from you in this industry. They don't say they don't, but they do. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, Chamberz battle rap. I never got on the stage other than watch battles. Like, they just attach you with that. But I'm so loyal to Smack, Beasley, and that culture, because that's the culture that gave me a spotlight to know who I am.
Exactly.
I just took, like I said, I got tired of paying for studio time, so I started bartering service with studios. I was using my popularity to do business. You know what I mean? I was Smack, Beasley, I tell you, every time I spoke to him, it was about business. You know, I never spoke to him about rap. I spoke about the battle rap movie, and then, you know, Smack gave me his blessings, and he was there 100% with me to push this movie. And look, even with that, he gave me a platform to do something. And I'm doing it. You know, I'm doing business.
Exactly.
I'm doing what I'm supposed to do.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Now, like I said, it is the first time you're on this platform. You know what I mean? So I just want the viewers to know you, get to know like the core of you. I know you did say that you had to do a little bit of time for before you got connected with everybody. Would you be comfortable telling the people, like?
I mean, it was always about the money. You know what I mean? I can't tell you it was always about the money. You know what I mean? It was hustling. You know what I'm saying? I would just happen to be tired of hustling in Coney Island. I took my talents to Manhattan. We got jammed up. Like, you know what I mean? There's no rocket science to it. I did my time. I came home. It's just that during that little drug beef, I was, you know, a gun charge got, you know what I'm saying? I beat the gun charge, but they gave me 3 years probation on resisting arrest because I ran.
Wow.
I tried to dip on police, you know what I'm saying? So it was like criminal possession of the third and hanging over my head with 3 years probation. I don't know what the fuck going on. But I had to finish probation. They dismissed the case. But when I caught a case on probation for selling crack. So they had marked money, whatever. I had to take that time. You know what I'm saying? They ran it concurrent. And I came home. And what I just didn't see, like, when people was in there, why they didn't use their mind. Like, a lot of people was just trying to sleep the whole bit away. Me, I was reading books, I was working. I went in like 170, came home 205, 210. You look at any picture before me, it don't look nothing like what's going on right now. So I just learned how to be more disciplined, and I realized what it's like when nobody's there. You know what I'm saying? When it's time with mail time, and they do count, and they're like, you know, stand up for mail, and your name don't get called out, you ain't got no mail. You better start figuring out things to better yourself. So sometimes people are like, damn, Chamberz, how you get cold? Because I just remember when nobody was there. Mostly, like, you know, my girl, my mom, my brother sent some paper in, a few letters, but like, for the amount of people, this hand shook right here, it should have been more, you know what I mean? But I just know when I came home, I just had a game plan on doing business. I understood what I was up against. So I think that was more a healing process for me than anything. So
I often hear, you know, like people, they're like against the jail system and all that. Would you say like that helped you a little bit, or?
Sometimes motherfuckers need a time out, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck what nobody says. Sometimes, like, look how, like, everybody got that neighborhood crackhead. Like, they love him to death, but they'll sell crack to him. And then he go to jail and clean up and be that dude. Like, he's not going back to that life no more. And he's telling people to stop smoking crack, but it took jail for him to do that. It took for his freedom to be lost. It took for, you know, the end of the world to crash. But you getting 3 hots in the cot, learning how to read. You know what I mean? It's not like you can just sleep in jail, lift weights. You gotta, if you don't have no school accolades, you're going to school. If you got that, then you're in the program. You're gonna do something. And they always teach you, keep your ID on you. So it's just certain trades that gotta be reprogrammed. There's certain people do it take, like, unless it's like harsh shit, like, you know, people getting 20, 40 years, shit like that. Nah, I don't wish that on no fucking body. You're talking about people with just small bad habits, petty crimes that, you know, that shouldn't even fucking happen. No, we're not talking about life or death situation. We're talking about petty shit. You know what I mean? Some people that just come in and out of jail with petty shit. You know what I mean? And I just think, you know, sometimes you need a timeout to be like, yo, to figure out what's more important.
I agree. I agree. Now, after, you know what I'm saying, you go in, you do your time, you come home, you start getting in the battle scene and everything, building a name for yourself.
Actually, before that, skipping, shout out to my man Jeff DVS. I came home with like a folder of raps, and I had Cut Master C number. That was one of the numbers I last had before I went involved in this industry. And I reached out to Cut Master C. He was like, "Oh shit, where you been at?" Boom, boom. He didn't even know I was locked. You know, he still was just doing mixtapes on Uncle Murder. And he was like, "Yo, I'll do a mixtape. Just send me the songs and I'll do the drop. Just send." So my man, I didn't have $500 at the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Coming home, like,
Yeah.
it ain't big paper, but I just didn't have it. We talking like 08, 09. And what happened was, my man Jeff put the bread up, and then it was back like I never left.
That's
you know
what's
what I mean?
up.
Had mad CDs of Cut Master C, one in the chamber. You know, because before that, my name used to be Exclusive with no E's. You know what I'm saying? Because I always had exclusive shit, so I thought it was something, I guess it was the Fab or whatever, big earrings, leather jackets.
That's what's
that,
up.
That type of shit. So it was like, then I was just like, Cooch from Toon Heads was like, yo, you go through too much shit, and people like you when you tell your story, when you talk more direct what you've been through, people love you more for that. Yeah, you can do that, but people love you more when you talk about Duval Chamberlain. So I was like, all right. And then I had to figure that out, and I ain't come up with no other names. I just used my real name and abbreviated.
Got you.
D. Chamberz. You know what I mean? And I came home with nothing but those type of raps. You know, my angle was on paper. You know what I'm saying? So I was just doing it like that, and I did the Cut Master C mixtapes, and everybody knew me for that. Like, oh shit, Chamberz, yo, da, da, da. Some people didn't even recognize me because they looking for a skinny nigga with the bald head. And I came out rocky. Yeah, like, nobody even knew like what was going on.
That's what's up. That's what's up. That so after that, you got all of the music. Now, the raps on the paper. Come home, building a name for yourself. You drop.
Smack.
Yeah,
my
got
next
it with
big
them.
thing, I did the More Shots. It was me, Liaison, and Math Hoffa. That was the first record that we did. And we were supposed to be doing Brooklyn Union, but then later on we decided to call, because Math already had something called NYB going.
Okay.
But a lot of people thought it was like New York Bullies, but it became like Now You Believe. Because, you know what I mean, we all brought different elements to the table. Like Math came with like Beer and H, Cash Kato. Like I called Cortez. I told Cortez this would be a good idea because he had Murder Ave gang going. I remember him from Club Pyramid. And Cortez later on brought Hollow. You know what I'm saying? Okay. I brought Hands later on because Hands was from Coney Island. Hands was from the 20s. I'm from the 30s. At that time, the 20s and the 30s, you know, niggas was still color banging and block banging and doing shit like that. So me and him kind of like bridged the gap of it's okay to do music with 20 and 30s, and eventually they saw the bigger picture, like when they saw, you know, us on Smack on that DVD, and we wasn't even supposed to be rapping. It was just intermission, so everybody who didn't battle rap, they like to spit freestyles. Yeah. So it was me, Liaison, and Hands. I brought Hands out for the first time to the world. And he brought the logs out the chimney, and we just, that same day, Math battle T-Rex, and you know, the spotlight was on us. We fought for that.
History. You know word. So eventually you release Warrior Ambition in 2017.
Well, then after Cut Master C, Smack did my mixtape called Bentley Dreams and Jail Nightmares.
Okay.
And ironically, 2 years later, Meek Mills has Dreams and Nightmares.
Dreams and Nightmares, yeah.
Yeah. And then there was another guy too, he had something else, what was his name? Dot. He had something similar, but my man Firstborn, it was just a thing, you know what I mean? It was something about Dreams and Nightmares, but I remember having that from jail, like Bentley Dreams and Jail Nightmares. Everybody want that Bentley Dreams.
That's a fact.
But never had them Jail Nightmares, you know what I'm saying? So I came home with that. So I think like 08 to 10, Meek Mills was going through the same shit, but just in Philly. You know what I mean? And we used to go to Philly, me and Math, we fucked with Gilly, the kid. He was fucking with J.I. the Hood King. What's that other homie too? Black De Niro. You know what I mean? Black De Niro was giving us a world, you know, a hood tour in Philly. You know what I mean? We met A.R. Ab. Yeah. And you know what I mean? All in that same year. And then like as we got older, like 11 and 12, you know, I got this award right here, most exciting artist of the year. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even know they was gonna give it to me. Like I said, wherever I go, whatever office I set up at,
put that up.
With me. Yeah, like they gave me this at BB King's and the Underground Music Awards, and I just been keeping that energy ever since. And I didn't even have a record out at that time.
Oh wow!
It was just freestyles
and
just going from I don't battle rap to being on K-Slade to Fred the Godson. He's on the radio. I had a record with Fred the God. I was just doing too much. And then I think 13 and 14, I was learning to put the music together. And that's when I came back with that record, Shake the Block, with Uncle Murder.
Yeah. Brought him to Coney Island, right?
Yeah, Murder was always in Coney Island, but he's from East New York, so like it only made sense. And plus, me and Murder always knew each other, like from when he was putting out, when he was like him, Pat Poots, and Red Cafe was the only one. But like I said, I didn't have no music. I wasn't ready at the time.
Got you.
And then I was ready for Shake the Block. And then I was in the Bronx shop with Nitty, introduced me to the Coke Boys. Then me and Chinks eventually got a record.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Shout out to Cheese and Brock, because I was Coke Boy Cheese, Coke Boy Brock, Coke Boy Drew. You know what I mean? My homie Juice, Thugger. Like, I was really in the Bronx. People thought I was from the Bronx. And then when, like RP Chinks, we passed, and I realized we on tour, we running around, we creating the plays, I'm hitting the road. And then some years had passed because, it really dulled it because my man Bill Collector went to jail, and I was working with him too. And like, it seemed like people were just dying and going to jail. So it was like a dull moment for me from like 15 to 17. It was just like crazy. I was losing the studio. People was going to jail. Like, Math was doing his own thing. He was going through shit over after that disaster shit. Cortez doing what he doing. Hollow done moved to fucking wherever he went at. It just seemed like shit was just going, and then I had to figure it out. Word up. Shout out to Power, my 906 Music. Shout out to my man Jay from what's that studio that was on Woodhaven, Queens, man. You know what I mean? Pound for Pound Studios. I don't like to forget people. I gotta shout him out. He gave me a platform. He's like, yo, Chamberz, if you can do this every month, it's yours. Bing. I was just taking those tabs on. And then I was just going studio to studio. Then I met a real estate and master franchise broker, Rico. And then he showed me like an aggressive level of thinking of why I wasn't having no money at that time. And I was just looking around. It was just favor after favor. I never had a real price tag on my value. I was always doing favors. So once I started thinking about I have to take care of myself and the business, I lost a lot of friends.
Gotcha.
I lost a lot of friends. And a lot of people didn't understand the approach, but here's what happened. My lifestyle I was able to have money to do the things I needed to do because there's people who respect the value of that.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like it was wild buku dollars, you know what I'm saying? I just learned, studios cost money, time costs money, everything costs money. A lot of people don't respect that. And then when you put your price tag on things, there's people that's gonna want to do the business. Some people feel you're not worth it. Some people gonna feel like you undercutting yourself. But at the end of the day, you gotta know your value.
Exactly.
And I think that's where a lot of people get lost at. And I found my value, and I was feeling like I'm French though. that dropped.
How'd you put that together, man?
Like I said, 906 Music. I was managing the studio, and I had Nice and Wavy, D Nice. And Nate Wavy, that was my head engineer. Miles was coming back and forth, but he was from the Bronx. So he was just holding me down because he was quicker to get to the city. I was on 38th Street. And Nice was playing the beat for Young Kai. I say this shit all the time. He was playing the beats. And I think Kai was just heavy on the drill music at the time.
Yeah.
So, which was fire. The tracks that he picked was elite. It was fire. But that particular record stood out to me, that beat. And I was just like, yo, that sounds like some shit Chinks and French would do. And I was just joking in the studio. And then what I did was, when people figure out later, is that I didn't write the bars. All I did was go to YouTube, and I saw French Montana whole video catalog list and just rap the shit.
Smooth.
So if you see it, you know what I mean? I just broke down some of the stuff he went through his life. You know, he got shot in the head, boom, boom. It ain't happened to me. But, you know, that's it. They try to do me like they did Pop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the free Max up out the box. Like, it was just simple stuff. And it took off.
Nah,
versus anything that I tried to sit down and think about. That record, like, once they heard, I'm fucking bitches out the friend zone, huh? Give me head, Ocho Cinco. Come on. It is what it is, though. But, like, it's just, with something quick and easy on the ears, French Montana wasn't doing nothing around that time. You know what I mean? This is before Unforgettable came out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He wasn't doing nothing. Like, I know he wasn't doing that. He was doing, I guess, his business in Miami and LA, and his shit was getting up over there. But as far as like the hood, like Bronx niggas that I was running around, I didn't see them. I didn't hear about them. Like, they were just trying to do their own thing, and I was helping them too.
Yeah.
Like, so I was feeling like I was French though. It was the real hustle, and he respected it because he didn't shut it down. Like, if it was hate, because I gave the record to Superman first. You know what I mean? He do security. Shout out to Superman. He gave it to French. He listened to it. He was jacking it. He just didn't get back to me on it. So, like, when he didn't get back to me on it, we were shopping just certain records around to indie distribution companies. We took it to E1, and my man Mac and Sean Rock. Sean Rock was over there. He was handling the the blast of the DJs through E1. He took to, and he took me to Power 105 that same night.
That's what's up.
And he was like, yo, Self, you need to hear this, da 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 da. I knew Self, because Self was like, oh, okay, you got a record, let me hear it. So Self put me on the spot twice. He made me freestyle in the other room for his freestyle segment, because somebody didn't come. You know, they missed their chance. So when I went there, he was like, you can freestyle? I was like, yeah, I can freestyle. I did the broken language shit, and I did that. And then when I walked into the big room, he was already scratching French though live on the air, and everybody just started texting me like, "What the fuck is going on? That shit is fire!" And then what took off on it was that when people started tagging French Montana on Twitter, he retweeted it. So and then it went, the numbers just went up. So a lot of people didn't know if French was gonna get on the remix or not, and apparently we was willing to do the bag, whatever. You know, Unforgettable dropped and shit was forgotten about. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Dropped Unforgettable and shit was forgotten about. And you know what I mean? And then, you know what I'm saying? And then it's like, feeling like I'm fresh out, book, feeling like, oh, all right, cool, swag. I heard you. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Heard you. You know what I mean? But a lot of people know, only thing I say is, like, I know everybody to each his own. They get their own bag, they do what they want to do, but I say shit like this. Like, Jordan Lucas did shit like Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart popped out for the video shoot. Yeah. Fucking.
He did the Will Smith joint too.
He did Will Smith, and Will Smith dropped a verse. Will Smith dropped a verse. Came out. He said, "Oh, you feeling like me?" Boom, boom, and just why is it like in New York?
Yeah.
Like, what does it take? Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's not Dick Rider. It was just think about it. It's a New York rapper. Like, nobody was really. You know what I mean? He's an influential guy when it comes to swag and the lifestyle. But you know what I mean? When dudes pay homage to that, why they don't honor that? Like, anybody who shout me out, I'm honoring that.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? And that's just why I just think why people be the way they are in this industry.
I
become
agree.
relentless. Why should you give a fuck? Nobody else give a fuck.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, I feel like that's alright, but I feel like the industry is the industry. And when I look at so many other places like Kendrick being honored in Cali, you know, all the like the top people came out, Dre, all these guys came out. I look at you know, the South, so many people working together. So it brings me to my point with, I guess, that record. Cause that's what I thought too. I thought that he would have jumped on it. After hearing it, I'm like,
no, but I'm not gonna hate on the fact that this too, it also brought me a lot of attention, a lot of radio play.
The tweet.
It got me a lot of hostings. It got me a lot of live shows. It got me better bookers in South by Southwest because it was a real New York sound. So I really don't complain too much because look what Future did to Designer. Like, he instantly was like, yo, who is this kid trying to sound like me, and tried to shut it down instantly. Like, he could have did that too. He ain't do it. So I also look at that.
Got you.
You know?
Got you. That's true. Bet. So you put out Warriors Ambition in 2017. What's the definition of a Warriors Ambition to you?
Exactly what it sounds like. You know what I mean? You could be a warrior. You got that mindset of willing to fight for what you believe in, but also you gotta have an ambition to get more out of life.
Mm-hmm.
So like when I have warrior mentality is the brand. The warrior mentality is on my own. Like it's for real.
Gotcha.
So like it's not just the brand. It's like the way of life. So you gotta have an ambition. You gotta have that mentality. So when you have an ambition, you know your mind is not set on just the war. You have other things you fighting for. You know
Got you. So on the song Go Get It, you say real niggas dead or they ratted out. You know, I know it was a while ago you put that out, but like on a scale from 1 to 10, how often would you say niggas tell? In your opinion?
I think every time somebody's in a bad situation, like a lot of people are not trying to leave today's society.
Got you.
And I just think like those rules and morals is based upon certain people. That's just it.
Bet. Do you feel like things like that should be honored within the music industry?
I just tell people just pray they're not in that situation.
Got you. Bet. So, you know, you say this, and I hear many people say that, you know, this as well. Like, you know, I've also heard the ratio of people telling always outweighs the ratio of them doing their time, you know. If that's the case, like, why do you feel like people shocked if a popular person may say something? If we know that, like, yo, this is just what happens, why do you feel like it's such a shock when it does occur?
Man, you know, today's climate is different. Some people don't have the same upbringing or saw the repercussions of what would happen. Like, you know, some people was from that era where they saw those repercussions and know what would happen from that. A lot of times today, you don't really see repercussions. You probably just see the aftermath of somebody getting jumped, beat up, or shot, or dead, and it'll be on the gram, Citizens Act, and that's just the end of it. You don't really physically see or feel until you're in that situation. And I think a lot of people lost. And I also think for a long time there's a lot of bad leaders out here in each different circumference. Nobody was really pushing for something different. It was just war on top of war, war on top of war, war on top. Like nobody's really took the person who starts talking and showing you different ways of living, you will see a different form of set of people coming out, idolizing that. When things don't start to make sense, they start thinking like that. So you don't have to ever worry about snitching on somebody when you're doing something with the people you with that you know that's what y'all doing and it's, you know, you're heading towards greatness. You can't knock that. A lot of people are not cut from that to explain that because these kids are not stupid either. They know what they want and they know what they see. Like money just rule everything. Some people are like, oh, money don't mean shit. That's a lie because if somebody give you money and it changes you right then and there, that's what you're gonna be accustomed to and that's what you're gonna carry out. Yeah,
that's a fact. Now I know with all the music you've been putting out, I see a lot of collabs, you know what I'm saying? Definitely people like you said before, Uncle Murder, you know what I'm saying? You mentioned Fred the Godson as well.
A lot of times I do records with people that I know that's saying the same thing I'm saying around the climate, how I'm feeling at the time. I don't clout chase and look for artists just because they're hot, because the moment or whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? I go by people, I'm like, oh, you know what? I hear this person on the record and we're talking about the same shit right now. It makes sense because my listeners, it's his listeners, and it's like that. So a lot of times I know these people from shows or met in passing in the club or the street ties. And that makes sense to me. Like I don't go out my way, but if the opportunity happens to land, I guarantee you there was a mutual agreement there, or we know certain people. It's never just records with strangers.
Got you. I know, like I said before, you put you did stuff with Fred the Godson. You put his name out there.
You said that, and that's him right there in the basement.
Word.
RP Fred.
Facts. What, you know, like where were you when you heard that news? You know, throughout the pandemic, and what was that like getting that?
I was in the car after curfew when I heard it. Like you know, I wasn't really paying attention to the gram because so much was going on. It was all about whatever Cuomo was saying, just, you know, at curfew, this COVID thing was really hitting. And my man, Todd Knight, he passed away just a week before that.
Wow. From the same thing, or?
They said it was COVID. Some people said it was a heart attack. He had diabetes, but it just seemed like whatever was going on, it was like he went, Ty Knight went, and then Fred, and then Amanda Blaze. It was just like, it was a combo. And I just didn't believe it. And then, you know, I just saw the gram. Once I turned the gram on, it was just...
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, it was, you know, he was a good dude, man.
Facts. Throughout this pandemic, do you feel like things stopped you musically?
I think I turned it up the most. I think I inspired a lot of people. A lot of people were just growing beards, letting their shit grow out, turn gray, all that. You know, I still was shipping and shaping, you know what I'm saying? little gel tactics, you know, I had a clean gel shave, you know, a little Gillette. I know how to survive in this climate, you know what I mean? I didn't go look crazy and fall off. I maintained discipline. I started putting out challenges, you know what I'm saying? I did the Some Niggas challenges, I'm a Hustler, Feeling in the Air. I did a few of those joints, and my impressions went up to like 375,000.
That's what's up.
In a week, because I was just posting everybody who I just saw following me, and if they had a freestyle and they did one of my challenges and they tagged me, I posted it. And I also grew a dope relationship with other artists. Shout out to King Cardi, shout out to Ines from Philly. Like certain dudes jumped in the cypher, jumped in the challenge that I was just from other states. That I never really had a lot of words with. I knew them, but that made it a conversation. And even my homeboys at PA, Fire, dude, G Money, he goes in, and I didn't even realize he freestyles like this every morning. It's just that I learned about it when I posted him. And he's like, nah, he goes in. And then it was like Gab Sinatra, he was stupid. Took off, my man Smoke Gang, man. I could just keep going. You know what I mean? And it brought people back to rap. And then I just kept my radio show, No Time for the Small Talk, going. So I had two different things going right from the crib in the car. Because I wasn't going nowhere. I was in my car going live. And then I'll go in my crib and go live. So it was just two different sceneries, and it was just keeping the energy high. Shout out to everybody that supported that. Shout out to, Soundbite fans, WMG, Ice Chills, Crystal, 5 Stacks, everybody who kept this culture going while the pandemic was going. So like when doors started to open up, we was back at DTF Radio. When people was afraid to come outside, everybody had plastic gloves looking, we was outside, and not in a negative way, but like we had to keep this going because I don't know nothing else.
Exactly.
Not too much else. I'm educated to do 10 other things, but this is what I want to do.
Exactly. Now I know, like you said earlier, we met, prior to the video shoot, got him with China Mac. How did you and him get together for that record?
I must say, like, China Mac at one point was going through a lot of the same, justice system shit. Like, I was on parole at the time. He was still in there. And Tiger always used to tell me about him, his man Tiger. And Tiger always used to be like, yo, you and China Mac got a link. But when China Mac came home, he was, I think he was with Head Ice at the time.
Okay.
And then at the same time, Math was about to battle Head Ice. So it was weird. So, like, there was no reason for us to talk at that time. It was just, it was high energy. And then over the course of the time, like, there were like mixtape release parties, we crossed paths, and we knew a lot of the same people. Like Ling Ling always used to she used to do PR for him. My homegirl Vanessa, she was doing stuff for him, and while he was getting on Vlad. But at that same time, I'm managing studios, I'm learning clubs, I'm getting bread behind the scenes. You know what I mean, for releases and all type of other stuff. So we was crossing paths, and then recently, my man Murder brought us together.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying?
Got you. What was the vibes like when y'all was putting that together?
Not Uncle Murder, I'm talking about my man Murder, Never Stop. So we had a lot in common. Like I said, it was the Bronx Rumble. He had the video shoot with Method Man. We pulled up on him over there, and he was like, "Yo, let's get one." And I was saying, "Yo, it makes sense. We were supposed to do it. I don't know." But then we went to Umbrella Studios and Cover. I went up there. I had another record he was going to jump on called Really Though. But then Cover had another beat too that he just had playing in the A studio. And we went over there, and I was like, nah, this is crazy. We can go corporate, or we can just shake the streets up.
Yeah.
And then, you know, we decided to shake the streets up. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up. So, any EPs, mixtapes, albums in the near
Close Friends
future?
and Enemies coming soon. You know what I mean? So far as like China Mac, Method Man, Benny the Butcher, Hattie Racks. You know what I mean? Got a lot of dope production. Conan. You know what I mean? I'm working with people that I know that are working.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When the budget comes to work with these A-list rappers, cool. But I know we heating up the streets so much that they know what's going on. They know we coming. They know I'm coming. You know what I'm saying? I'm putting on for Coney Island. And shout out to everybody that's doing anything in Coney Island. But they know I'm coming with the Mogul approach on top of that. So it's not like I'm a kid and you can just tell me anything. I'm handling business. I'm making big looks going on here. And we taking this shit to the top. That's what's happening.
Word. So now before we go, I always ask people to just name 3 people that they appreciate what they doing and they want to see tap in with P Films. So who would be your 3?
I don't know. You probably interviewed them already. You know what I'm saying? It's hard for me to predict. But if I would say Young Ka,
Got you.
Brooklyn Hands, you definitely need to hear his story. I think Cheese too, Holy Cheese.
Bet.
I think, you know, he's from She Said Bay. They putting that energy out there, you know. But I can keep going, like FPP, Boss, he got FPP Entertainment, he got a lot of people over there that's doing dope music. You know what I'm saying? And everybody that's really staying serious, like Big Man Global. You know, there's different ways, elements where you're going with it. If you're taking it to the streets or you're taking it to the clubs.
Yeah.
I can name people all day. You know what I'm saying? Because we all here to win, man.
That's what's up. Now, is there anything you like to tell the people?
Yo, the worst risk is not taking one, man. And when you fly, you gotta fly high.
Let's get it.
Gangster.
Yo, appreciate you, D Chamberz.
No time for the small talk, man. I like you, boy.